Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. What if I told you that just 20 minutes a day could make you stronger, steadier on your feet, and give you more energy to enjoy life? Wouldn't that be something worth doing? After all, life after 60 is not about slowing down, it's about finding new ways to keep going strong. You see, the body is a marvelous creation. Even as the years pass, it is designed to adapt, to strengthen, and to heal, but only if we give it the chance. Too often I meet seniors who say, "I'm too old to exercise," but let me tell you the truth, you're not too old, you're just getting started. Exercise after 60 is not about lifting heavy weights or running marathons, it's about choosing the right movements that protect your body, support your balance, and give you the freedom to do the things you love. When we speak about life after the age of 60, many believe it is a chapter of slowing down, of doing less, of avoiding the effort that was once effortless. But I want to invite you to look at it differently. Aging is not a retreat, it is a refinement. It is the time when you begin to shape your body and your mind with wisdom rather than haste. And one of the most profound ways to shape this stage of life is through movement, deliberate, mindful, and consistent movement. You see, the body is not a machine that simply wears out with time. It is more like a garden that, if watered and cared for, continues to bloom even after decades. But if left unattended, it begins to wither. Balance, strength, and flexibility are the three essential streams of water for this garden. And after 60, when the body becomes more vulnerable, these streams are not luxuries, they are necessities. Think for a moment about balance. How often have you seen an elderly person hesitate at a small step or feel uneasy while walking on uneven ground? Balance is not something we lose overnight. It is lost slowly, silently, as the muscles supporting the body grow weaker and the mind becomes less connected to movement. The danger lies not only in the possibility of falling but in the fear that comes with it. Fear makes us withdraw. Fear makes us avoid activities we once loved. And soon we find ourselves sitting more and moving less. There is a story of an old monk who once walked with his disciples through a forest path. The ground was covered with leaves, and the trail was uneven. One disciple stumbled repeatedly and grew frustrated. The old monk simply walked calmly, his steps steady and unhurried. When the disciple asked, "Master, why do you not stumble while I do?" the monk replied, "Because I place my mind where I place my foot." That is balance, the harmony of awareness and strength. Exercise after 60 does exactly this. It trains not just the muscles but also the mind to be present in every step, reducing the risk of falls and restoring confidence. Strength, too, is often misunderstood. Many think of strength as the ability to lift heavy weights or run long distances, but true strength after 60 is the ability to rise from a chair without effort, to carry your groceries without strain, to bend down and tie your shoes with ease. These simple movements are, in fact, the pillars of independence. Without them, even the smallest daily task becomes a burden. With them, life remains yours to enjoy fully. It is said, we do not stop moving because we grow old. We grow old because we stop moving. Muscles respond at any age. A person at 65, 70, or even 80 who begins a gentle routine of strengthening can regain vitality that seemed lost forever. Each repetition, no matter how small, is a message to the body that says, "I am not finished. I am still." Here, flexibility is the third stream. Imagine a tree in the middle of winter. The branches that are dry and stiff break easily under the weight of snow, with the branches that are supple bend, and they endure. Our bodies are much the same. Stiffness is not just discomfort, it is vulnerability. A stiff body resists movement, and resistance creates pain. A flexible body flows, and in that flow lies freedom. Gentle stretching, mindful breathing, and low-impact exercises keep the body supple, the joints lubricated, and the spirit unburdened. Now let us consider the second truth, the power of low-impact exercises. Many seniors fear exercise because they believe it will bring more pain, more strain on their joints, or more exhaustion, but the reality is the opposite. Low-impact exercises such as walking, swimming, or gentle yoga are not only safe, they are medicine. They ease the pressure on the joints while strengthening the muscles that support them. They allow the heart to beat stronger without overwhelming it. They give energy instead of taking it away. I recall a story of a woman in her 70s who once told me she had stopped walking outside because her knees ached. She spent most of her time seated, believing rest was the answer. But as weeks turned to months, her pain grew worse, and her energy faded. When encouraged to begin short, gentle walks, she resisted at first, but finally agreed. Within a month, her pain had lessened. Within 3 months, she no longer relied on her cane. What had changed? Not her age, not her circumstances, only her willingness to move again. Movement became her medicine. Low-impact exercises are like gentle waves against a rock. The waves do not strike with force, yet over time, they smooth the stone. In the same way, these exercises shape the body quietly, steadily, with no violence but with lasting effect. They improve circulation, carrying more oxygen to every cell. They strengthen the heart, lowering the risk of disease. They release endorphins, lifting the mood and calming the mind. And perhaps most importantly, they give back energy. Many believe exercise will make them tired. But in truth, the body is like a lamp. The more you use it, the brighter the flame that becomes. Billing in stillness for long hours dims the flame. Moving it gently and daily makes it glow. There is wisdom in the old saying, a rolling stone gathers no moss. When you keep your body in motion, stagnation cannot settle in your joints, your muscles, or your mind. This is why a simple routine of walking, stretching, and light strengthening becomes a shield against the decline of aging. I ask you to imagine your life not as a long path toward limitation, but as a garden where you decide how much it will bloom. Balance, strengths, and flexibility are the roots. Low-impact exercises are the rain that nourishes those roots. Every step you take, every stretch you hold, every gentle breath you give your body, all of these are acts of care that return to you tenfold. There is a hidden strength in the human body that often goes unnoticed until it begins to fade. After 60, this strength becomes more precious than ever, not the kind of strength that impresses others, but the kind that allows you to live each day with independence and dignity. It is the strength to rise from bed without effort, to carry a basket of groceries without fear of stumbling, to reach up for a shelf without wincing in pain. This strength is built through mindful movement, through exercises that honor the body, rather than exhaust it. Posture is one of the silent guardians of our health. When we stand tall, with shoulders open and spine aligned, we breathe more fully, our organs work more efficiently, and our confidence shines. But when posture collapses, not only does the body weaken, the mind begins to follow. You may have noticed how someone who feels discouraged often looks downward, their chest sunken, their back curved. The body speaks the language of the spirit. To strengthen the muscles that hold us upright is to strengthen the spirit that carries us forward. I once heard the story of a craftsman who spent his life carving wooden statues. In his 70s, he was asked how his back remained so straight despite decades of labor. He answered, "I never bent my back to the wood. I always lifted my heart above it." His secret was not only physical strength, but also the discipline to move with awareness. This is what strengthening exercises do for us after 60. They remind us that we are not meant to fold into age, but to rise with it. Simple movements like sit-to stands, gentle squats using a chair, or light resistance exercises with bands awaken the muscles that support daily life. These are not about pushing limits, but about preserving freedom. When the legs are strong, the world feels accessible. When the back is firm, the body feels capable. And when the core is steady, the risk of falling diminishes. Each time we choose to strengthen these parts of ourselves, we are investing not in years, but in quality of life. But strength alone does not sustain us. We must also think of the rhythm of energy that carries us from morning until evening. Too often, seniors feel their days clouded by fatigue, by a heaviness that makes even small tasks seem daunting. This is where the right exercises become a fountain of energy, restoring vitality to both body and mind. Low-impact exercises play a special role here. They do not demand more than the body can give, yet they return more than we expect. Consider the way a gentle morning walk feels, the cool air touching your skin, the steady rhythm of footsteps, the quiet sound of breath syncing with movement. Such a walk does more than stretch the legs. It awakens the entire being. Blood flows more freely, carrying oxygen to the brain and heart, muscles warm, easing stiffness. The mind clears, preparing the day with renewed focus. There was once an elderly teacher who began each day with a slow, deliberate practice of movement and breath. When asked why he never missed a morning, he said, "Because without it, I forget that I am alive." Movement reminded him of his vitality, and that remembrance gave him strength, not just for his body but for his spirit. Heart health is another gift of low-impact activity. After 60, the heart becomes more sensitive, more in need of gentle encouragement. Walking, swimming, or cycling at a steady pace is like tuning an instrument. The rhythm of the heartbeat becomes smoother, the lungs expand more fully, and the circulation of blood nourishes every cell. Over time, these simple habits reduce the risks of illness that often weigh heavily on seniors. And there is another treasure hidden in movement, the release of joy. Have you noticed how after a short walk or a light exercise, your mood seems brighter? That is no accident. The body, when moved, releases chemicals that lift the spirit, reduce anxiety, and ease sadness. It is as though the body whispers, "You are meant to feel alive." For seniors who may sometimes feel isolated or burdened, this natural joy is as vital as medicine. Energy is not only physical, it is also emotional, mental, and spiritual. Impact exercises nourish all of these layers. They sharpen memory, improve sleep, and cultivate patience. They also restore a sense of control, a reminder that even when years advance, we still have the power to shape the quality of our days. Let us remember too that exercise is not a task but a form of self-respect. It is a way of telling your body, you are worthy of care. When you choose to move, to strengthen, to stretch, you are practicing gratitude for the vessel that has carried you through 6 decades and more. A saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Perhaps you did not exercise much in your younger years. That does not matter. What matters is the choice you make today. The body listens at any age. Begin now and it will respond. Independence, posture, energy and heart health. These are not gifts handed down by chance. They are cultivated through practice. Every time you choose to rise from your chair with strength. Every time you take a gentle walk instead of sitting in stillness. Every time you stretch your arms toward the sky, you are adding not just years to your life, but life to your years. So, my friends, I encourage you, start today. Your future self will thank you for the effort you make now. Because growing older is not about adding years to life, it's about adding life to your years.